Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for the while. Over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. Things are hopefully about to get a little spicy. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Seven Dust shirt. Yay, I like my Seven Dust shirt. Although I will say, as much as I like this shirt, it's a tour shirt, right? It's part of the Machine Killer tour that Seven Dust did with Static X. I was fortunate enough, I got to catch one of those events. Excellent show on all bands and, all parties included. It was really awesome. Here's the thing, though. For all of, the lead up to the tour, they had this awesome artwork where basically it was this face of the lead singer of Seven Dust, and then on the opposing side, you had the face of the lead singer of Static X, in this kind of cool opposition Machine Killer thing. And then they didn't have that available as a shirt. Instead, you had to get one of these, and then if you wanted the opposing one, you had to get one from Static X. And I get it, it's a merch thing, but come on, you couldn't have just done the one-in-one. That was a little bit disappointing. But it is still a really awesome shirt, and it was a really awesome time. Seven Dust are a great band. They've been doing it consistently for decades now. I actually got some videos of their performance. They're on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. And if nothing else, I'd be happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're a really good band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it spicy? Well, folks, that's because I headed on out to, Burger King. I got myself a Whopper, but not just any Whopper, because it turns out that they have a new fiery menu. And it consists of, I believe it's 4 or 5 items, something like that. I just got through reviewing their this is their fiery strawberry and Sprite, and I alluded to it in that one. But they also have a fiery Whopper as well, as one would imagine. This specifically is their fiery Bacon Whopper, which consists of, hopefully, crispy, fiery seasoned bacon, pepper jack cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, a creamy fiery sauce. So let's open it up. Let's take a look. It's been a bit since I've been to Burger King. Probably, maybe a couple months or so. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely, you can see that's some very seasoned bacon. So, okay. Hopeful. Yeah. That is a big-ass onion. All right. Supposed to have onions? I don't know. It didn't say so, but whatever. So, it looks like this. Can we get anything? Let's give it a shot. Let's, so we don't drip on the Seven Dust shirt. Okay. I like the way they season the bacon. Kind of reminds me of like a bourbon bacon jam thing, which was a whole thing in 2023. And in 2024, now it's hot honey. But yeah, kind of reminds me of that. It almost gives it, there's still bite to it, but it almost gives it a mild gelatinous quality to it. That's one thing I will say. I don't think it's particularly crispy at this point. It still has some, it's not like it has no structure, but you're not getting a crunch out of this. But what you do get is actually some pretty tasty seasoned bacon. I do actually like that quite a bit. I mean, it's not bad. Maybe not as good as I was hoping exactly, but honestly, It's one of those things where certain things I'm more into and I'm kind of impressed by, certain things I'm a little bit disappointed by. I have to give them a lot of credit for the bacon because I've never been very high on Burger King's bacon. You know, like, it's not the worst fast food bacon by any means, but it's definitely nowhere near the best either. But this, I think because, of course they knew that they had to emphasize it, it does seem like maybe it's a little bit better cut than in the past, or it might just be the way that it's seasoned, but it feels more substantial. It's got more oomph to it, even with the, again, maybe mildly, gelatinous kind of thing I was talking about earlier. It's got, like, it's very present. And I like that, because that's not something I usually say about a Burger King Whopper with, with bacon. But I do like that. The only thing I will say it's maybe a little bit disappointing, I was hoping for a little bit more heat, because Burger King has done some spicy Whoppers in the past. They did the Angriest Whopper. They did the Ghost Pepper Whopper, which I did review. It's on my channel if you're interested. So, like, they know how to do a spicy Whopper. And, I have to admit, when they talked about this one, when I first started seeing ads for it, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to get another properly spicy Whopper. It's spicy. There's some oomph to it. Not saying there's none. But I have to admit, I was expecting a little bit more. But it is tasty, and I really like the overall of it. I mean, the baseline is it's a Whopper. If you've never had a Whopper, by fast food burger standards, it's not the best, but I would still say, it's got that flame grilled taste to it and everything. There's a certain amount of love there, for me personally. But I will say, Whoppers have definitely been getting thinner over the years, as it is, but, yeah. I think, obviously, the two standouts here have to be the bacon, which I think is really nice, and then you do get that creamy sauce. I could use a little bit more creamy sauce. I don't need to over-encompass everything, but when you get like a really nice bite of that plus the bacon, that's when you get, some proper heat to it, and kind of warms up your mouth. It's really nice. But even with, it being what it is, I like the fiery sauce. It's got a little bit of a kind of a tanginess to it, but then, like I said, brings that heat. And I think overall this is pretty nice. This is a Whopper I can be pretty happy with. But yeah, I just wish I had more of that sauce, because I really like the sauce, actually. Again, it's kind of like almost like a tangy burger, like a tangy burger sauce. But just, with that heat. Really kind of goes to the back of your throat. It's nice. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I mean, for me personally, I have to go with yes and yes. For me, it's not my favorite Whopper I've ever had. I would say, honestly, probably between the Angriest Whopper, the Ghost Pepper Whopper, and this is probably my least impressed of the three, but I do still like it. I like a Whopper, fundamentally. I know Eric Owen, who watches my channel. Love you, buddy. He's a big fan of the Whopper. I actually did a fan request, by the way, where I created his perfect Whopper called the Eric Owen Whopper. Well, that's what I called it. You can watch that review. It's on my channel. But yeah, no, I like that, like, again, I was really impressed with the bacon. Mind you, it's not like the best bacon ever. It's, being realistic with our expectations here. But I like the bacon, I like the seasoning, I like the sauce. And then again, the foundation is just a Whopper, and I like a Whopper. So it's not, anything super spectacular, but damn it, I do like it. If I'm recommending it, I mean, I think that if you're already sort of considering it, just try it. I don't think there's a reason not to, because again, I think if you're already sort of viewing it in that, kind of like, hey, maybe I'll try that, give it a go. Because you already probably know what a Whopper is like. And, again, it's not the best, nothing about it is the best version of anything you're going to get. Excuse me. But fast food standards and what have you, I like it. You might not be into it if you don't like spicy stuff, even though I wouldn't consider it to be a particularly spicy burger. It has some oomph to it. By that same token, if you're somebody who you love super spicy stuff, obviously this isn't going to have that impact that you want. But I think for, I personally wouldn't mind it if they kept the fiery menu around. And honestly, especially in combination with the fiery strawberry Sprite stuff, I really like that, man. I think that's a great combination. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly surprisingly good Whopper-tastic rest of your life. I mean, unless you're just not into Burger King. Some people aren't. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, I personally hope that, if you go over there and you try out the thing, whether it's this thing or another thing or whatever, I hope that it, not only meets but exceeds your expectations. Because that's always a nice thing, I mean, I kind of try to pride myself on, at least when it comes to certain aspects of my life, I like to try new stuff and everything. And it's always nice when you go into something and, it ends up just being that much more spectacular than you'd imagined. So I hope that's the case for you.